Today we're going to be working on fixing this screen door. As you can see, I have little hole down in the bottom corner. Okay, all right. Might be a pretty big hole. Okay, a extremely big hole. What happened is it actually ripped right down the seam along the side there, starting at the handle, and then it continued to rip all the way across the bottom as the kid and the dog decided to use it as a swinging door, essentially. First thing we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to take the door off the track. That's easily accomplished by pushing the door up into its track and then pulling the bottom out towards you. Okay, now that we have the door off the track, we need to just find a flat surface to work on. All right, for tools for this job, it's really pretty simple. You only need 3 things. You're gonna need a razor blade, a screen roller, and a screwdriver. And if you're not fixing the screen on a screen door, but a window, you don't even need the screwdriver. The screwdriver is only to take off the handle, that little black handle right there, because the screen actually goes behind the handle. Then as far as materials, you need 2 things. You need the actual screen itself. In this case, I got a heavier duty screen that is supposed to be rated for pets. I'm highly skeptical that this will work for my dog. It seems like it would be fine for like a small, 20-pounder underdog, but a 60, 70, 80, 90-pound dog in my case, she's still gonna go right through this if she accidentally leans on it. And the other thing you need beyond that is you need the rubber that holds the door, that holds the screen into the seam around the door. So I actually had to just look it up. I realized I wasn't sure what this rubber stuff was actually called. It's called a screen spline, and apparently another name for this is a spline roller, but not super technical. It's also called the screen roller, just in case you're curious. All right, step 1 is going to be removing the handle. Just take out these 2 screws. That aside. All right, step 2 is removing the screen that's broken. And you want to get the old spline all the way out too. Just be careful when you're stepping on an aluminum frame. I'm not actually putting a lot of pressure on my foot. I'm just putting my foot over it to keep the door from coming up. It looks like I have a piece of the spline stuck in the end. So I'm just going to take my razor blade, get in on the corner, and pick that up. Okay, so it's that simple to remove the screw. This piece of screen is pretty much the correct size for the door, so I'm not going to trim anything off right now. I'm going to wait until I have the spline in, and then I'll just trim off the excess then. There's not so much extra here where it's unmanageable to work with. Okay, so when putting the spline in, I find that the easiest thing to do is just pick a corner and starting that corner, and then as you're working your way around, you're stretching the screen taut as you go. So just real quick on this spline roller, you'll notice there's 2 sides to it. So one side has a wheel with a kind of concave edge to it. The other side has a wheel with a more of a convex or almost flat but slightly convex side. I like using the concave one because it allows you to get right over the top of the spline and push it in. But either side works. The whole idea is to just make sure that you're working the spline in. The one thing you need to be careful of, especially with the concave side, is if you push too hard, the edges of this can actually cut the screen, and that's going to eventually cause your screen to fail or fail easier if you slice the screen when you're installing it. So just be careful of that as you're doing it. One thing I forgot to mention is before you go ahead and push the spline in, if you take the convex tool and use that to crease the screen into the groove, it makes pushing the spline in a lot easier. So I don't know how easy this is going to be to see, but you'll see there's the spline. There's the little groove that you're trying to push the spline into. And when you get it in there, it's really sucks the screen down into the hole where there's no way, like you're pulling that out without some effort. So the important part here is making sure that you're getting that spline all the way down into the groove. All right, now that we got the spline in the around the perimeter of the screen, pulling it taut, we're gonna go ahead and just use a razor blade to trim off the excess screen and the excess spline hanging off that corner. All right, so it's the next day. We got the door up. Not too much to see, but screen door. Nice and solid. That's it. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please go ahead and hit the thumbs up. And if you like the content of this channel, please consider watching some other videos and subscribing as well. Thank you.